Junko, let's get through the numbers quickly because we have the jobless rate rising to 5.1%, but industrial production coming in way better than expected. Your reading on these figures?
Yes, I think that today's data result is mixed. I think that the jobless rate increase of 0.1% is a little bit discouraging number, but I think that compared to any other advanced economy, the level of the jobless rate at 5.1% looks still healthy, largely supported by the government stimulus packages. But on the other hand, we should focus on, or we should more focus on the industrial productions. Today's data shows that the industrial production declines consecutively for 4 months, even though the month-on-month growth rate was a little bit better than market expectation. But we have to think about the negative downside risk coming from the strong yen and also increase of the inventories. So I think that even this...
So that means you think that industrial production will decline for the rest of this year, then if you have the impact of inventories and a strong yen for exporters?
I still believe that industrial production is likely to decline consecutively for a few months or even throughout this year, and even for next year if the strong yen continues.
Okay, well, what about this theory of double dip? Is it off the table in your view?
Given today's result of industrial production, I think that the fourth quarter GDP in Japan is likely to record minus growth. But I still believe that it is different from the kind of the double dip of economy. The GDP number should be declined to 1.6 or 1.7% on annualized basis, but it's not a wide negative margin.
Okay, well, what about GDP? Your GDP forecast for the second half of 2011 is close to 2%. In fact, CapEx seems to be a bright spot for the Japanese economy, with, I guess, companies cyclically recovering their spending at this point. So that's a healthy check mark right now for Japan.
Yes, I believe so. Even though the Japanese economy are facing a lot of negative factors, such as inventory adjustment and the strong yen and the weaker labor market condition, but I still believe that there are cyclical patterns of economic recovery. I mean that capex is likely to follow a positive trend on the back of the V-shaped recovery of the corporate income.
Okay, Junko, well, you know Japan is still fighting deflation, almost a decade plus of it. When are we going to see rising prices again for Japan?
It's hard to say, but given that very sizable negative output gap currently at 3% of the GDP, I think that the core CPI will recover to the positive territory only after year 2013.
All right, Junko, nice talking to you this morning.